Got this video on my recommended feed. Female police officers. All arguments ranked and debunked. Now, chat. I love women. That much is obvious. But I don't think they should be put on the front lines or in life or death situation. Because if you're not physically equipped for the job, then you're putting others in harm's way. He loves men. I do not. I love men as homies, not as significant lovers. There's a big difference.
Think fast. You're behind cover and an active shooter
Okay.
right in front.
All right.
Civilians all around. You notice a figure dashing next to you. Do you A, try to identify if it's a fleeing civilian, or B, panic and shoot?
Slimo.
B, congratulations.
Oh my god.
Be a female police officer.
Oh no.
But let's confirm it. After panicking and shooting a civilian, the actual shooter advances. Do you A, hold your ground behind cover, or B, panic, run into the open, and get shot?
I think B is a
If you
pretty
chose
good
B,
answer.
It's confirmed. The scenario I just gave is from a...
I do remember the situation. This was like 2 weeks ago. It was fucking crazy when first seeing it on Twitter. This is where I get my news site from
recent
anyways.
event where a female police officer successfully made every worst possible decision available. And it's reignited the conversation surrounding
Bro,
women
she just
in combat
blicked
roles,
that guy.
specifically law enforcement. Therefore, in this video, I'll be ranking and debunking every argument in favor of women police officers.
All right,
And
let's
if you
hear
enjoyed
it.
the video, consider subscribing.
I'm all
It helps me
ears,
out.
man.
Women use
I'm
less
hearing.
force. The argument here is that they are less prone to use excessive force when apprehending suspects, avoiding unnecessary harm, and saving on potential lawsuits. Proponents use studies showing that women are less likely to receive excessive force complaints compared to their male counterparts. To call this argument deceptive would be an understatement.
I remember a female police officer mag dumping her own reflection when she and her partner were conducting an investigation in a house or something like that. It was quite the scene, to say the least. I was very amused and at the same time concerned. Like, what it was? Oh wait, chat, you never see that clip. It is both funny and very, very concerning. Concerning because what if that was just a random person, right? What if that was like an innocent civilian and the chick just... Let's go back on the less force segment. If they have less force, they're not going to be taken as some form of threat. When it comes to not using a firearm, at least, you could definitely physically overpower them. You could outrun them. No problem. If you're a dude, no problem. No problem whatsoever. So I'd rather have a guy who's more likely to use force in a non-firearm usage level than a chick in the same position.
Of course they
Was she
use
wearing
less
her
force.
uniform?
They're
Yes.
less
Yes, she
able to.
was.
Additionally, male police officers are typically the ones
She was. I'm pretty sure she was in her uniform, Fed. I'm fairly confident.
who are made to handle more difficult physical arrests for obvious reasons. Since male officers are made to handle more difficult physical arrests, obviously they get more complaints. Naturally, this goes into NPC tier as a classic midwit argument. When a female officer is staring at a larger, non-compliant male, her options are reinforcements, taser, or gun. Which brings me to my next argument. Women are less likely to draw their gun.
Okay, I know I keep pausing this, but I'm immediately reminded of another female officer. Get this right. She said, taser, taser, taser. And for those of you that don't know, your taser is assigned to your left side, unless you're lefty, right? But for the sake of brevity, your taser's on your left side. She reached for her firearm after saying taser 3 times and then blicked the dude. How the fuck do you mess that up?
This argument argues, again,
I can't lie, he's speaking facts. Thank you, Kiwi. I'm glad you're not a liar.
citing studies, that female officers are less likely to draw their guns compared to male officers.
False.
Again, an obvious explanation is that men are being made to handle more difficult cases. which is a demonstrable fact. These broad studies with poor control over variables prove nothing. Furthermore, simple reasoning paints a different picture. A larger, non-compliant male poses an immediate risk to a woman in a way that it doesn't to a man.
The laser
If
beam
a
with the
female officer
taser.
feels threatened, her only recourse is her taser or gun, and tasers are not reliable tools. Anecdotally, we see case after case of women feeling threatened and escalating drastically
Oh my
when it's
goodness.
either not necessary or wouldn't have been necessary for a male officer. Again, a failure of intuition and how to properly control variables. NPC tier. Women are better communicators.
Speaking of tasers not always being efficient, holy fucking grammar. I believe the voltage used for the UK taser wise is less than, what was it, like less than 1,000 volts, meaning that it's nothing more but a tickle gun. You try using it on a suspect, there's gonna be like, damn, bro, something's kind of like scratching me right now. Anyways, pow.
You serious?
The argument cites the claim that women tend to rely on verbal skills more often for their arrests compared to their male counterparts. I'm tired
That
of
can't be
repeating
any
myself.
more
Of course
false.
they are, since they struggle
Holy
to
fuck.
physically restrain the suspects, and less compliant suspects are delegated. Abyss tier. Let's also address the root cause of these arguments. So far, they've all relied on an implicit sexist assumption that men lack self-control and default to violence, whereas women have more self-control. The studies we do have
Oh
on
my
this
goodness.
also don't support the idea of women being more in control. Women are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety or panic disorders as men are, as well as more likely to suffer from PTSD. Exactly what you don't want from police officers. Proponents of this argument
I like how you said press X to doubt, Malachite. Better communicators, my ass. I can't agree any more than that. Not gonna lie, this sounds a little misogynistic, but kind of true at the same time. What the fuck kind of... This sounds a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Polarizing? Man, this sounds bad, but like he's speaking truths. I don't know how he's saying it. Oh my god! If I hear mansplaining, I'm gonna ban you. Mansplaining is not a real term. It's not misogynistic to be speaking facts. If I tell you that the sky is blue and you're telling me that it's not blue, but instead it's fucking pink, and we're both looking at the same sky, you are fundamentally wrong unless you're colorblind. And even then, I don't see how you could get that wrong.
cite the fact that men are responsible for more violence. But how do you control for the fact that men are simply more capable of violence or have greater incentives for it?
Why are you
Additionally, since men
mansplaining me?
have
I'm glad you're just kidding, Kiwi. I'm glad you're just kidding.
this capability, a lot more effort is used in training them to control it since boyhood, a process that is often neglected on girls, which explains a lot of modern phenomena. NPC tier. Better results with victims.
Better
This
result
argument
with
makes the case that
victims.
women typically get better results trying to get victims of abuse or similar crimes to open up. This is actually true, and it's one of the ways that women have genuinely contributed.
You know what? Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. That is a better rebuttal compared to the other ones that we've seen. But let's hear more of this. Let's hear more of this.
And the best part? It doesn't require women to be police officers or in combat roles.
That's
They can
true.
be social workers, consultants, or other forms
Therapists.
of outside help, so that their unique talents can be fully utilized without having to put their lives and others at risk by doing something they're not suited for.
I like the Ace of
Plot
Spade
tier.
reference over there.
Better community perception. The claim here is that the populace prefer and trust female officers more, which is
No.
highly debatable.
No.
Additionally, what happened to tearing down gender stereotypes? Public perception is just stereotyping. Why are we condemning stereotypes when it goes against the agenda, but using them as an argument when it's in favor? This is clearly just a rationalization. It's already been decided women are to be police officers, and now they're just finding excuses for it. Abyss tier.
I'm just saying, Chad, if I saw a female police officer and there's no male police officer around, I'm thinking to myself, yo, this is going to be a free and easy lick. I'm about to get my KD ratio up.
Tasers negate physical disadvantages. Only the most delusional deny the obvious physical differences between men and women, which is why we have such reduced standards for physical ability when admitting female officers. This begs the obvious question: why are we accepting subpar candidates just because of their gender? Their counter is physicality doesn't matter. The taser exists.
But the taser doesn't work consistently.
Wrestling takedowns are all part of the job. But even more importantly, how reliable are tasers? Well, for starters, a portion of the population are
I wonder
just
if it's
flat
going to
out
mention
immune to them.
the UK
The
one.
ranged option is extremely limited, inaccurate, and hard to reload. And a taser is often best used when already in a melee altercation, which involves grappling and wrestling. Only an NPC can argue that physicality doesn't matter in law enforcement. Physicality is the only meaningful difference. Not only does this argument set aside a very important difference, this argument also contradicts earlier pro-women officer claims, as well as the statistics we have regarding likelihood of panic and anxiety disorders. And it goes deeper. Reaction time, spatial awareness, innate hierarchy are all things men outperform women in and are invaluable in combat roles. The belief that the only differences between the genders are physical is quintessential midwittery. NPC tier. It's necessary.
Honestly, not being sexist or whatever it's called, having a man do it makes so much more sense because they're built for this stuff. It's not sexist to be speaking facts. I'm just going to say this outright. Men and women are not equals. They're not equals in the sense of physicality, emotionally, and cognitively, I guess you could say, right? Because, men are stronger. Stats prove men are stronger. They're more reactive. And I'm not saying this just to be mean or cruel, like I said, I'm an advocate for women, all right? I love women, but I'm not going to pretend like we're equals in every way, shape, or form, all right? That's doing more harm than good. Stop flying. Okay, bro. Okay. Look, just because I like beating up a pregnant woman every now and then in my spare time doesn't mean I hate women. Maybe just do a drop kick here and there. We know you like men. Okay, I don't appreciate you guys trying to force your gay agenda onto me, all right? I'm a straight man. He loves women. Yes, exactly. I'm glad you agree, Kiwi.
For gender equality. This argues that even if the disadvantages of women in law enforcement and combat roles are conceded, it's still necessary in the name of gender equality.
That's so stupid.
If we need to accept worse performance and a higher risk to people's lives just to include women, then gender equality does not exist, whether you include them or not. You can call reality sexist all you want. It won't change to accommodate your sensibilities. But you will get people killed by denying it. Abyss tier.
Also, another thing, chat. If there's a prerequisite for males, they need to hit a certain level in order to join the military or police, etc., etc. If there's a physical requirement for that, but you have to lower the standards for it when it comes to women, that alone already debunks the fact that we're not equal.
Women are different, and if you can't accept that, that can't be blamed on just your stupidity. That's a choice, and one that's costing lives. That concludes the tier list. If there are any other arguments you'd like to be ranked, please share them in the comments below. And I would like to give a special thank you to all our channel members, our patrons, and those who bought merch. We greatly appreciate your support, as this channel would likely not be possible without it. If you would like to participate in our supporter-exclusive Discord, make sure to check out the link in the description below.
Yeah, that was a good video. I really liked it. It was very thought out. I wish he mentioned a couple points that we mentioned here in the video, but that's okay. At the end of the day, all the points, for the most part, were conveyed well, and a lot of it very much debunked. All right, when I had the pacer test a C grade for boys was a grade or was A grade for girls. Yeah, that alone should tell you the major difference between men and women when it comes to physical requirements with whatever you may do. I mean, come on, chat. How often do you see chicks do blue collar work? Because I barely see any of them there. Now, I'm not saying that we should or anything. Again, I'm an asshole, but I'm a reasonable man. All right. I don't want to be there exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that. We just got to be honest with ourselves and with each other. I want to be home in the kitchen. I see we got ourselves a classy woman here. One woman says she could and quit like 10 minutes in. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Look, I'm not saying blue collar work is the greatest or anything, but it's definitely not something to snooze at. And respect to the boys out there doing it. And for the women out there that are actually able to follow through working in a blue collar job, you know, good on you. I appreciate that you're able to stand out, assuming you're doing things properly. Also, to be fair, I'm sure those men are also used to it. She isn't. Yeah, that's true. We're men are just more built for rough and shitty things. Now, you can argue that men these days aren't exactly as strong as they were before, but that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, you know, good video. If you guys want to see another one from this guy in the stream, let me know. I'd be more than happy to look into that. We might just do that anyways regardless, but I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.